Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was my second most anticipated movie of the summer, behind Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm a massive fan of the most recent trilogy, mostly brought to us by Matt Reeves, though Rupert Wyatt deserves some love for it as well. He hardly seems to get any. My current ranking of those films from best to worst is Dawn, War, and Rise, just so you know who you're dealing with. With those, we got a mature look into what an apocalypse would look like if we had to slowly give our world over to speaking apes. Visual effects were second to none, landscapes were remote and desolate, and Andy Serkis changed the game with an incredible performance as Caesar. There is so much humanity that comes through these films, and they feature computer-generated apes. I did have a couple of concerns going into Kingdom. First, I didn't know if I trusted Wes Ball to deliver. I believed he had a good idea of where to go with the story, but I'm not too familiar with him as a storyteller. I saw Maze Runner when it came out and was underwhelmed by it. I was also aware that their Rotten Tomatoes scores got progressively worse as the franchise went on, so I didn't have a goal to complete that trilogy. It felt like this movie could easily pale in comparison. It's been 7 years since War came out, and Fox is now run by Disney. I wanted the same creative spirit to drive the kingdom, and I didn't know if it would. We're moving on from Caesar, so we needed to connect to this new set of characters. It was just enough to make this feel like it could be the ugly stepchild of the franchise. Thankfully, I love Ugly Stepchildren, because this movie is great. It appears I liked it more than most audiences, as the cinema score is strangely low, and the Letterboxd heads I follow all rated it lower than I did. Regardless, it made $56 million opening weekend, the second best opening of the franchise. Wes Ball consciously includes the spirit of Caesar with this film. We start generations later, but history hasn't been documented well in this ape world. Caesar and what he stood for has taken on different meanings to different clans around the world, and they use him as a figurehead to prop up their own agendas and movements. It's pretty clever, actually. Our lead character, Noah, doesn't even know who Caesar is until he's taught by another character, Raka, midway through the film. It feels like a sequel to the previous trilogy while also not feeling tied to it. The cast is mostly unknown, but wonderful. Owen Teague successfully gets us to believe and care for Noah, a young ape who's thrown into this epic journey. There's a naive sweetness to him that I liked. Kevin Durand is probably the most compelling ape as Proximus Caesar. I'm not familiar with Freya Allan in The Witcher, but she did a great job as well, and her character surprised me a bit. I thought her role was going to be limited to obligatory human, but she turned out to be a wonderful foil for our characters. Wes Ball asks great questions with this film. How does humanity, or ape-manity, distort history and knowledge of their past? Why would Caesar put so much effort into harmonizing with humans if they'll never rest to take the earth back over? It was enough for me to love, and I put this right above Rise in my current Apes rankings. We need to get to know Noah just a bit more before I can give him any more credit than that. I've seen a lot of complaints that this movie gets slow and feels too long. I tend to agree with that criticism, though I don't strike it down as much as others do for it. Yeah, they could have shed 10 minutes, but it's a small complaint, and I'm just riding high on the filmmaking and how incredible the apes looked. I'm not letting it bother me. I'm in the stage of my life where I'm gonna cheerlead films like this to inspire studios to make more of them. I think Kingdom is gonna be the big hit of May. Furiosa should fall right behind that. I can't wait for that, by the way. I already took off work to go. It should be a fun summer. I'll see Fall Guy when I can. I'm down for The Strangers, A Quiet Place Day 1. Can't wait for Hitman. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my third favorite movie of the year so far, and I recommend taking friends and family to the biggest screen possible.